The pest house, where the plague was left to rot. They were places of fear, of darkness, of slow death. In the late Middle Ages, when the Black Death and its many kin returned again and again to Europe, the healthy needed walls between themselves and the sick. Towns could not allow the infected to remain in the streets, nor could families watch their homes dissolve into plague pits. And so they built the pest house. A grim house of rot, a barn or shack where the diseased were carried, abandoned, and locked away, left to their fate among others who shared the same black swellings and rattling coughs. To step into such a place was to enter hell. The pest house was rarely more than a crude building on the edge of town, often an old shed or a converted tavern, sometimes nothing more than a barn with its doors barred. Within, straw lay scattered in heaps, damp and foul with sweat, pus, and blood. Windows were few and air scarce. By day it stank of rot and fever. By night, it shook with screams, coughing, and the moans of the dying. To pass the road beside it was to gag on the reek, to hear the rattling of lungs and the weeping of those who knew the door would never open for them again. It began with the carts. When plague struck a house, the sick were dragged out. Families wailed as husbands were torn from wives, mothers from children. Some begged to follow, to share the fate of the doomed. Others hid the sick in cellars until the cough betrayed them, until neighbors reported the sound and the pestmaster arrived with his men. The pestmaster wore waxed leather and long gloves, sometimes even a primitive mask of herbs against the stench. With his staff he prodded the sick forward, or else dragged them out by rope, for he would not touch them. They were heaved onto carts already heavy with bodies that still moved, piled together like sacks of grain, then rattled away toward the edge of the town. The crowd would fall silent as the cart passed, some making the sign of the cross, others spitting to ward off the evil that rode within. At the pest house the doors groaned open. The stench rolled out, a wall of human filth and putrefaction. The sick were carried in or thrown in, and the door was bolted behind them. From that moment, they belonged no more to the town, nor to their families, but to the house of death. There was little food, sometimes bread crusts passed through a hatch, sometimes nothing. Water, if it came at all, was carried in buckets too filthy to drink. No priest lingered to comfort them.